Hey guys, welcome. This is Ned again with yet another wonderful video for you today. This video is all about how to deal with the giant. Had a couple battles back to back against a giant, and I was successful against it. And I just want to show you some tactics that I personally used in order to get around the giant. I really like the giant. It's an excellent troop. It can be very, very hard to deal with. And I especially like using it because when you use things like the skeleton army against it, it blows up and kills all those defending troops, and then you still have those two golemites to contend with, which still have quite a bit of health. So I didn't do a very good job of dealing with it. I was hoping that my elixir pump would sort of help distract it. Towers are a really good way to deal with golems, or even using the elixir pump. Now you'll see when it broke up, I tried to get that elixir pump in there. My goal was for the golemites to not attack my tower, but rather to attack that elixir pump so I could save some damage on it. And it didn't work. One of the big things with the golem to me is actually when you see a golem placed down, is to try and attack from that other side. Golem caught elixir, so if you have something like a prince or a hog or anything along those lines, the opponent will be rather hard pressed to deal with your counterattack. And the golem moves so slow that you are able to continue to build up that elixir while you wait for it to come towards you again. So I went ahead and placed a fresh elixir pump, and I went ahead and I waited a little while to do anything. And when it was near the tower, I went ahead and used my lightning spell. I got some damage down on it, and also the tower, which is kind of what, whenever possible, you want to use spells on the tower and whatever you're going for, because it will help defeat both the tower and those things. And then normally whenever people use a golem, like they did with that musketeer, they're going to be placing items behind the golem, or troops behind the golem. You can see here this guy kind of went AFK for a bit, but the whole point of this is to show how we deal with the golem, not so much what I'm doing throughout the whole match. So anyways, you always want to kind of pull it towards the middle if possible with buildings, and then you have both side towers attacking it as well. And when both side towers are attacking it, that's a very, very good thing. If you have a spell, using the spells to weaken it are also an absolutely fantastic idea. Anything that you can use that will do damage is excellent. You want to use ranged troops because when it explodes, you don't want it to explode on your melee troops. And thus, if this button would work, why isn't this button working? Okay, there we go. You don't want it to explode and then kill all of your defending troops like it would with a skeleton army. Skeleton army would work very, very well against, say, the P.E.K.K.A., but not so much necessarily against the golem. So I'm looking for the next one, which is a 3-1 victory. And again, you see again, if you happen to notice that, he has another golem. This one I was a little bit better prepared for, and I think you can see a counter-attack strategy. Normally when you use a golem, or your opponent uses the golem, they're going to place it back behind their tower. This allows their elixir to build up and be able to place more troops. Now, you'll notice that I use that lightning spell on the elixir pump. The elixir pump is an excellent accompanying item to go with something like the golem. So he places that golem, and I've got my maxed out elixir. I go ahead and drop my Valkyrie on that one side where the golem is, just to do some damage, and then I counterattack on that other side. As you can see, my arrows were kind of useless, but I didn't know what he would have. So now I know that would have been a useless endeavor. And then I continue on towards that far side with my Dark Prince. I use those spear goblins to help defend. And now it's you see how he's got all those troops on the backside, which is not a very good thing, because now those troops are doing even more damage than the golems. He's able to take that tower, which isn't necessarily good, but the deck that I have is pretty strong at taking towers. And since I know that he kind of used up everything, I'm able to go ahead and counterattack again, if you will, or attack with that prince and get more damage down on it, on the tower, and take it. And even at this point, I'm pushing continually towards that king's tower. He's letting his elixir build up, and now he can't really do much with elixir as far as that elixir pump because I have that lightning spell, as I was saying earlier. Excellent way to mitigate elixir production. If they spend 5 elixir on an elixir pump and only gain 2 elixir from it, and it's not useful in defense either, they have essentially wasted 3 elixir, which is never a good thing. So right there, I go ahead and do an attack, and he fails with his poison. And you'll see I get 3 troops placed down for that tower before that golem even reaches me, and I have almost full elixir. So I've counterattacked successfully. My elixir pump, which has been generating elixir for me, is being used as a defensive troop. I get my defenses down, and I think he at this point, and then I use my lightning defensively as well, and he gets very little damage. If he doesn't get any, thanks to that Valkyrie, damage on my tower, which is marvelous. He tries to place that golem down right there just to stop me, and at this point I know he's got no elixir, and I'm able to place my tower dealing troops down and do damage to that tower. The golem, while left unchecked, does do a significant amount of damage to your tower. Does not do a ton if you're able to force them to defend and leave it unattended with something like spear goblins or Valkyrie or something along those lines to defend. Even a prince would work. You need something with relatively high health because, the low level like goblins and skeletons will just die. Those are just a few methods to help you deal with a golem. I know sometimes a golem can be daunting, especially at lower trophy levels. So you just need to make sure that you're able to place a building. That's why at least having one building in each deck is a very useful thing to have, because it distracts things like a golem, like a giant, like a balloon, any of those things that are annoying to deal with. A single building can deal very effectively with those items. And then you use some, ranged troops or something that's like a Valkyrie or a prince that can help clean up the follow-up troops, and then focus on the tank. And but anyways, that's how I kind of dealt with it on those 2 builds. Obviously I made a few mistakes here and there. I didn't decide to do this video until after I did 2 in a row against giants. So there you go. I hope you found this video informative and useful. Hopefully it'll help you destroy some giants or some golems, and hopefully they don't bother you as much. Like and comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Tune in next time. Thanks, guys.